Today we're going to be doing a sun Sal C. We're going to meet up in down dog of our last sun B. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. That's 5. Step, hop, float to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, arms come up to find our chair pose. We're here for 3. Make sure you're sinking back into the heels of your feet. Wiggle those toes up if you can. 2. Lower a bit more. Squeeze those arms by your ears. Last breath. Inhale, interlace the fingers. Extend the arms out in front of you. Lower down to a half chair. 3. Chest comes to the tops of the thighs. You want to hide your ears with your arms. 2. 1. Release. Heel toe those feet out. Squat down to meet in Malasana, Yogi Squat. Hands come to heart center. Everybody, one breath here. Maybe this is it for you today. If you're looking for a little bit more, you want to find half crow or crow pose. Place the hands on the mat in front of you. Up on your toes. Bend into those arms just enough to create a shelf for your knees. Start to lift the gaze forwards. Lean the shoulders, dig into the fingertips. Maybe you lift one leg. Then switch, lift the other. Maybe you float both feet up. Wherever you're at, we're here for another 3. 2. 1. Now everyone meet back in Malasana. Hands to heart center. We're about to find our first chaturanga. For this chaturanga, we're all going to go knees, chest, chin. So hands come down to the mat in front of you. Jump back into a high plank. Squeeze in your core and squeeze your bum. Knees drop down to the mat, untuck those toes. As we lift our gaze a bit, we're gonna bend into our elbows. Keep them in as close to your body as you can. Lift that gaze till chest and chin hit the floor. For this first vinyasa, we're gonna come to a cobra. So forearms to the ground, squeeze in those legs so that your knees come up off the back of the mat. Lift your chest and chin slightly up. Now to transition for our first down dog, we're all gonna go through our knees to get there. So place those hands back on the mat in front of you. Start to push that weight back towards the back of the mat. Untuck those toes, come through the knees. Once you're towards the back of your mat and you're ready, push up into that down dog. We want to make sure there's a micro bend in the elbows here and that we're rotating our shoulders externally. We also want to make sure that our spine is in a straight line and our tailbone's up to the ceiling. So bend in your knees as much as you need to find that shape. One more breath here. Now rotate your left foot out to about a 45-degree angle just to the left side of the mat. On your next inhale, step that right foot forward and arms come up to find our warrior 1. Our feet are going to be on train tracks here so that our hips are closed off to the front of the mat. Arms stretch up towards the ceiling. We're pushing into the blade edge of that back foot while sinking into that front leg. One more inhale here. Exhale, arms drop to a T. Heel to those feet back to one line like a tightrope so our hips open up to the side of the mat and our gaze goes in front of our front fingers. Still pushing into the blade edge of that back foot and into that thigh of your front leg. Last breath here. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Start to hinge at the hips, and as you exhale, drop that right arm to the ground, left arm comes up to find our Trikonasana or triangle. This is a great time to grab a block and use it. We want to make sure that our shoulders are stacked while we're in this posture. So gaze is up at the ceiling and we want one line from our top fingers to our hand that's on the ground. Last breath here, inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Bring that left arm down and frame your front foot. Step that left foot up a little bit closer and back onto that 45-degree angle to train track our feet again. We want to place that left hand down on the mat. And on our next inhale, we're going to bring our right arm up to the ceiling and twist to find our revolved triangle. We want to make sure that we're keeping our hips close to the front of the mat, so really try and rotate that right hip back, left hip forward, whilst gazing up at the ceiling. Last inhale here. And exhale, right arm comes down, slowly release. Left foot is going to step back onto that single line so that we can find our extended side angle. Left arm sweeps up, gaze goes back up to the ceiling here. Now our hands can be on the ground, on a block, knee to thigh, whatever is most comfortable for you here. We want to make sure that there is a straight line between our fingertips and the blade edge of that back foot. Last breath here. Exhale, release. Frame that front foot, twist that back foot up, and on our next inhale, bring those arms up to find our high lunge. Exhale, hands to heart center, and we're going to drop that back knee down to the mat. Inhale, stretch up tall, begin a twist to the right. Exhale, we're going to find that full twist for our revolved side angle. Left arm comes to that right thigh and gaze comes up to the ceiling. You can hang here. You can straighten those arms out if you want. You can untuck those back toes and lift the knee up to find that high lunge. Wherever you're at, 2 more breaths. Last breath. Exhale, slowly release. Hands frame that front foot. We're going to go through our chaturanga here. So right foot shoots back, elbows in. As we inhale, find our up dog. Exhale, down dog. Pincha Mayurasana. Drop those elbows down to the mat so forearms are flat. Press into those fingers. Maybe we're just going to hang here in dolphin. If you would like to play with your balance a bit, go ahead and lift one foot up to the sky. Switch. You're also welcome to try Pincha here if that's in your practice. Wherever you're at. 1 more breath. And now we're going to push back up and meet back in our down dog. And we're going to do the same series on the left side. So rotate that right back foot out to a 45-degree angle. On your next inhale, step that left foot up. Arms come up to find warrior 1. Hips stay squared to the front of the mat. 1 more inhale here. Exhale, arms drop, heel toe those feet to one line. Warrior 2, gaze out to the front of the fingertips. Inhale, straighten that front leg, hinge at the hips. Exhale, drop that left arm, right arm up to the ceiling to find our Trikonasana. Gaze up at the ceiling, try and feel that line of your shoulders in one straight line. Last inhale. Exhale, right arm down, frame that front foot. Step that right foot up a bit closer, back to its 45-degree angle. And find those train track feet. Plant the right hand on the inside of the left foot. Inhale, left arm up, gaze comes to ceiling to find our revolved triangle. Make sure you're wrapping those hips, left hip back, right hip forward towards the front of the mat. Last breath here, inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down, slowly release. Right foot steps back again. Plant that left hand wherever you would like it to find. Right arm sweeps up to find our extended side angle. Gaze back at the ceiling. Again, make sure that you're aware of where your arm is at so that you can try and make one straight line from your fingertips down to that back foot. Last breath here, inhale. And exhale, right hand drops, slowly release. Tuck those toes on your back foot. Inhale, arms up, high lunge. Exhale, hands come to heart center, drop that back knee. Inhale, stretch up tall, start to twist over to the left. Exhale, right arm meets that left thigh. Twist and gaze shifts to the ceiling. Whatever variation you took on the right side, go ahead and take on your left. We're here for another 2 breaths. Last breath. Exhale, slowly release, untwist. Hands come back down to the mat. Left leg shoots back, and we find our chaturanga. Elbows in. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Pinchamayurasana again. Forearms drop down to the mat. Push those hips up to the ceiling. If you want to just hang here in dolphin, make sure that you can bend in your knees as much as you need to keep that back straight. Again, if you want to play with the balance, go ahead and lift one leg. And switch and lift the other. Last breath here. We're going to bring those feet back for a chaturanga. Exhale, drop. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We're going to walk or swoosh our hands to the back of the mat. Use our index and middle fingers to grab around our big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. And that is our sun Sal C.